Hello, welcome to 123windelfrei.de, your German attachment parenting blog from Berlin. I'm Nicola Schmidt, and in spring 2009 I've been to the United States and I had so many questions, and I asked them to the experts, the scientists and those people who claim to know, and I want to share their answers with you. Today, Meredith Small, author of Our Babies Ourselves, and this was my question.
They should be met, for the health and safety of the baby, first of all, nutritional needs and elimination, cleaning up a baby, hygiene sorts of things. For disease, clean water, clean milk, whatever, clean food. But the other needs are psychological and emotional. And those are harder to pin down and much easier to not meet. It's much easier, it's easy to meet the nutritional needs of a baby, as long as you have the resources. The baby's crying, you feed it. But what's harder for people is to understand that the psychological and emotional needs are also evolutionary, biological, and they should be met too. And if they're not, there are going to be consequences, and the consequences are crying. What we don't know is what are the consequences in the long term. What kind of young children do they turn out to be? What kind of adults do they turn out to be? Because to follow a group of babies from there to adulthood is quite different, quite hard to do. In the past, anthropologists have only been interested in childhood for what it will, how it will influence how someone turns out as an adult. But the people I write about in Our Babies Ourselves are interested in what happens to the babies. Are they happy? Is that what happens to them? So anyway, let's get back to the social, emotional kinds of stuff. Everything shows, we're primates. And monkeys and apes, if you look the way they parent their babies, they're carried all the time, they feed whenever they want, very close contact, and they're part of this social group. That's how they're designed, and we're just like that. And so what babies want socially is they want the physical contact. It's not just a physiological bond, it is emotional and psychological. We know from Harry Harlow's work that if you break that bond and you don't give a baby a rhesus monkey baby, an attentive mother, if you just feed it, but it's just a wire mother, these kids grow up crazy. These monkeys grow up crazy. They can't mother, they can't do anything. And if you give them peers to play with, physical contact with other monkeys, animals of their own kind, it's buffered. And so we know from that research from the 1960s that attachment, physical attachment, has a psychological cascade to it. And therefore, the physical part, the touching, the holding, the carrying, the sleeping with, that's integral to their psychological development. And if you remove that, you get, is it a surprise that we have people in Western culture who have commitment problems? They've been brought up in a system where it was important to be detached from other people. That isn't what we are as primates. All the research shows that. All of it. And so what I try to convince people of when I give a talk is we are social creatures. Babies need physical contact with another person, but they also need to be part of a social group.
That was 123windelfrei.de on tour. More questions? Click it again next week.